Hi, I'm Andrew Halsman of Family Tree Counseling Associates. I work in Carmel, Indiana, and I have 30 plus years of experience working with couples and families and individuals in relationship therapy and individual therapy. My phone number is 317-457-8668, and my email is aholzman2 at comcast.net. That's AHOLZMAN 2 at comcast.net. I'm entitling this video Why Marriages Fail. And as far as I can see and in my experience, there are three main reasons why marriages may fail or have failed. The first is people act out. The second is a person acts in. And the third would be not setting limits with someone, your partner, who is acting out or acting in. So, again, in my experience, when a person and another person, when a couple comes into relationship therapy, they tend to blame each other. They tend to focus on the problems of the relationship and the pain that the other person is bringing up in them without really talking about pain. They're just saying, okay, this person does this or they don't do that. They have this kind of habits, or they're not completing things, and they're really just focused on what the other person does, and that makes sense. I mean, you're with someone and you're intimately connected to someone, and they bring up strong feelings in you. And one of the things we talk about, and probably the main thing we talk about at Family Tree, is that it is an interesting characteristic of relationships that the other person, your partner, is going to bring up strong feelings, stronger than any other person in your life, because they are meant to. They are the person you pick, the person you sign up to be in this relationship with. And you are making a kind of unconscious choice sometimes to work on your own issues. And so this other person, your partner, is doing their job. They're just having their reactions and their feelings, and they're being their personality, and they bring up these strong feelings. And how you deal with it is what matters here. And that's part of the reason I'm talking about why marriages fail. So if you're not embracing the idea that the other person is there to help you look at yourself, and you're focused on what they do or what they don't do, invariably the relationship will break down. So, acting out. Acting out is when someone has emotional or physical affairs, is abusive in some way, physically or emotionally, verbally abusive. They are slamming doors, they are raging, they are screaming, they are very reactive to, and obviously reactive to stressors in their life. And that's acting out. Acting in is when a person shuts down. So the opposite of acting out, where the person is very obviously angry, or they are doing something such as having an affair where they're saying, I'm distancing myself in this relationship. Acting in is you're distancing yourself by being quiet, by shutting down, by just swallowing your pain and swallowing your feelings and not saying anything and not talking and not, just in a sense being a martyr or trying to get through the relationship for some possibly unspecified amount of time till the kids are grown up or till you can't take it anymore. So you're just kind of swallowing and taking these feelings and just moving on, and maybe being divorced or splitting up is too shameful or not financially sound at this point, but you're just kind of taking it on the chin and going on and going on and going on, but you're not working on the relationship. You're shut down, so any kind of stimulus is not going to make you happy. Even if the other person is changing slightly, you're not going to see it, you're not going to deal with it because you're already closed off. You may have given too much into the relationship and felt like, I'm not going to give any more. So that's acting in. The third possibility here is if you have a partner who is acting out, who is acting in or acting out, they are in some way distancing themselves in the relationship. They are closed off. They are not connected to you by being focused on some other person, or by being, so shut down, that they're not talking or not dealing with their own feelings, and you're having feelings about this, and you're not setting any kind of boundaries, which is a hard thing to do, depending on who you are, to bring up your strong feelings in a appropriate way, in a way that has some power and has ability to change things, is difficult for a lot of people. It's easier to act out and to act in for everyone. It's easier to avoid. It's easier to find something else to occupy your time. So, whether it's work or another person or eating all the time or drinking all the time, there are ways to take care of yourself. But setting limits, setting boundaries, that's pretty difficult. And it's pretty difficult for most people to do that. So if you're in a relationship where you're feeling lost, or you're feeling that the person is not there for you, that's the question. What do you do with that?